Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuwah and the truth. We're on video number 3 of, or I think we're on video number 4 actually now. Sorry about that. Who is Allah, the Hindu connection? Prayer to Allah, prayer to Mary. I had read, or Lou had read, that Muslims pray to the mother of Jesus, whom they call Isa, Isa, from the Latin IES, cryptonym seen in the Latin Vulgate as IESV. In 1992, a Muslim came into the store Brother Lou worked in and saw the dozens of postings all around teaching the truth. He came up and asked him several questions, and he asked him one or two as well. He asked, "How many beings do you pray to?" Immediately, the person in the store answered, "One." So he pressed him further, "Do you also pray to Mary?" He then remembered that his faith also taught him to pray to Mary, but he did not know why. He explained to him that Muslims pray to Mary because Catholics pray to her. He looked confused and didn't know what to think. The Quran mentions Mary 44 times, yet the writings of Scripture only mention her name 19 times. There is a shrine at Ephesus called the Ephesus Shrine, and Muslims and Christians pray there daily together. Over 1 million devotees come there from all over the world to pray to Mary. Prayer beads, originating in India, prayers to Shiva, using beads began about the 8th century BCE, 2800 years ago. Each prayer bead is related to a tear from Shiva's eye after a long meditation. The construction of the device used seeds having 5 sides connecting them to make a beaded mala, a bracelet and or necklace. Shiva is often shown with both. Shiva's tears, Hindu mala, Islamic tasbih, the rosary, 15th century Catholic rosary. Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, Catholic, Shinto all share the repetitive prayer custom. Some also spin prayer wheels to send more prayers skyward in less time. Does that make sense to you guys? The spinning of a prayer wheel? I've never even heard of that. That's something new to me. This practice began 2,800 years ago in India and passed into the Levant sometime during the Gnostic invasion from the Far East beginning 200 BCE. Catholicism seems to have incorporated this Hindu device from several points. They refer to the beads as a chaplet or rosary, meaning rose garden. Here's a photo of a 15th century Catholic rosary. And I hope you guys can see that. There you go. Okay. Catholic Shiva beads. The repetition of many prayers is not impressing Yahusha, and when praying, do not keep on babbling like the Gentiles, for they think that they shall be heard for their many words. Therefore do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. Matthew 6:7-8. It seems we do everything he told us not to do. As followers of Yahusha, we understand we cannot do anything without being connected to our root, because Yahusha is our source of power to overcome whatever we wrestle against. Our struggle is not against flesh and blood. For the rest, my brothers, be strong in the Master and in the mightiness of his strength. Put on the complete armor of Elohim for you to have power to stand against the schemes of the devil. Because we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against authorities, against the world rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual matters of wickedness in the heavenlies. Ephesians 6:10-12. Unless we abide in Yahusha, we can do nothing. Yehukanan 15:5. We can attempt to do things without Yahusha, but we are engaging in spiritual warfare, and any fleshly effort exerted in such a war is absolutely futile in the extreme. Faulty teachings, human traditions, pagan customs, and doctrines of demons must be overcome with the truth, our sword, which is our offensive weapon to overthrow strongholds. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not fight according to the flesh. For the weapons we fight with are not fleshly, but mighty in Elohim for overthrowing strongholds, overthrowing reasonings, and every high matter that exalts itself against the knowledge of Elohim, taking captive every thought to make it obedient to the Mashiach, and being ready to punish all disobedience when your obedience is complete. 2 Corinthians 10:3-6. The true character of Islam is found in the Quran. Its fruit is expressed in the outward display of brutality and massive destruction. It overtakes the weak by killing its enemies and enslaving what is left. Who is Allah? Almost 1/4 of this planet worships this deity. This amounts to about 1.6 billion people. They bow to a shrine located in Mecca, a Hebrew word, Makkah, meaning slaughter, destruction. What was the former purpose of the shrine, and how does a Hindu symbol inform us of the identity of the deity? Crescent and star symbol. Islam developed as a monotheistic faith within the context of a polytheistic one. It inherited ritual objects, such as the crescent and star, from that polytheistic background. All pagan religions involve sexual elements in their services, and their ritual objects portray this. Shiva and his consort Shakti play a highly sexual role in the religion of Hinduism. One of the most sacred ritual objects in Hinduism is the Om symbol. Om is the Hindu trinity. Shiva, star, crescent, Brahma, and Vishnu. So Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu are their trinity. It represents the Hindu trinity of Brahma, creation, Vishnu, preservation, and Shiva, destruction. The crescent and star represent the sexual union of Shiva, crescent, and Shakti, the star. The ideas did not surface out of a vacuum at Makkah. If the Kaaba is an ancient Shiva shrine, it explains why there is no ancient archaeological evidence of when it was originally built. Its original builders were definitely polytheistic. The Kaaba is sacred to Islam because it was sacred to Muhammad. Almost 1/4 of this planet bows toward the house of Allah. What was the former purpose of that shrine, and how does a Hindu symbol inform us of the identity of the deity? Since the 8th century, a borderless spirit of war has been unleashed on this earth. Historians recognize that Gnostic ideas began to spread from the east beginning about 200 BCE. It was the old religion of Babel, and it was meshing with variations of itself. Babel's astrological symbols, Zu or zodiac, spread everywhere. Hindu temples and mosques are the same things, but one focuses on the worship of the destroyer, Hebrew Abaddon, Greek Apollyon. The Tower of Babel design is expressed in the stupas, steeples, spires, obelisks, and minarets, as seen around mosques. Gold balls, suns, are commonly part of the design, also widely used on flagpoles, maypoles, asherim, steeples, obelisks, and minarets. Sorry about that, I had to get a drink. Okay. Babel's astrology was the worship of the host of heaven. The worship services employed shrine prostitutes, nuns, mamakunas, since fertility was the base objective. The sex drive was harnessed by the dragon to achieve control over mankind. We see the power of this sexual enticement working at Numbers 25, 1-3, as Yahuwah's people joined to Baal Peor by committing whoredom with the women of Moab. See Revelation 2:14. A typical pagan temple was surrounded by booths with straw floors where the worship services were performed. Enslaved temple prostitutes covered themselves to remain anonymous. Yehuda's daughter-in-law, Tamar, covered herself at Genesis 38:19. Sitting beside the road to a pagan shrine, she deceived Yehuda to make him believe she was a shrine prostitute. The purpose of the burqa was primarily for the anonymity of prostitutes. The only connection it has with ritual religion is that of pagan temple prostitutes. Yahuwah has made no instruction in the use of a burqa. Since the confusion of languages at the Tower of Babel, the dragon has ruled the hearts of all nations through astrology's occult mysteries. What has been hidden is now being revealed to be the mother of harlots, Babel the Great. We wrestle against forces in the heavenlies, their doctrines of demons. Shiva, Catholic nun, Buddhist nun. The folded hands, namaste, is a Hindu-Buddhist gesture of worshipping forces. Snakes, crescents, beads, bowing, circular walking, praying in circles are not of Yahuwah. The force is against you. Who is Allah? Kabbalah, esoteric forces, chakras, serpents, yoking with serpents. 7 chakras, Kabbalah, tree of life, the mysticism of rabbinic Judaism. Stand in the full armor of Yahusha. The Arabic language gives us insight into the phonology of original Hebrew. These two languages are very closely related, as are the people speaking the languages. One group was chosen by Yahuwah in a covenant of love to draw all mankind to himself in love. The other followed another path. And the messenger of Yahuwah said to her, See, you are conceiving and bearing a son, and shall call his name Yishmael, because Yahuwah has heard your affliction. And he is to be a wild man, his hand against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and dwell over against all his brothers. Genesis 16:11 through 12. Next time we'll be reading, we are to avoid pagan customs, Allah, the Hebrew origin of the word, the language of Abraham, and who is Allah? Why do people walk around his shrine? I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson, and now it is time to praise Yahuwah. I know my voice is not very good right now, but it is always good to praise his name. Yahuwah is with me, Yahuwah is for me, Yahuwah is greater than all of these things. If Elohim is for me, then who can be against me? Seek him, and you will find him. Knock, and the door will be opened unto you, unto you. All I wanna do is worship Yahuwah in spirit and in truth, in spirit and in truth, for his kindness is everlasting. I love you all with an everlasting love, as our Abba Yahuwah and the Shamayim loves each and every one of us. Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuwah and the truth, my brothers and sisters.